Hello, hello. Welcome to what I believe will be another eye-opening conversation here on Select TV today. I hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday and having a good Friday evening. It is Friday after all, so I expect it's going to be a good one, and I expect it's going to be a very good weekend altogether. Welcome to another conversation. My name is Tim Ngosi, and of course, as you know, this is Select SA TV, and we are having a chat with one of Zanzi's phenomenal businesswoman, a brilliant mind, somebody who I think we're going to have so much fun chatting to today, and you're going to get to know her a bit more. And you're just going to get, I suppose, we're going to peek behind the curtain and see what amazing people do and how the other half lives. So that's what we're doing today. Welcome to Select TV. My guest today is Nokwethemba Vilakazi. Also known as Nokwethembas, and I think she's going to tell us a bit about how that came about. Nokwethemba, welcome to Select SA TV. Thank you so much for honoring our invite and for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm actually doing very, very well. It's not as hot as it was earlier on, so I'm good. I don't like the hottest weather.
This is true. This is very true. It's cooled down a bit.
Yeah,
It's Friday. We're wrapping up the week. As I expect, it's been a busy week. It's always a busy week for everybody. So I hope you're really good. Besides the heat and everything, I want to give a bit of a background here, which for me, when we're preparing for this interview, I sent a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you, and you were like, "You can do better than this. What else have you got?"
Because you because you can.
And I was like, what she's basically saying is that we can talk about anything, and she has no idea how much I like talking. So we are here now. But
when we are a match, you and I are a match. That is why I said you can do better than that, because I don't want you to go shallow with your interview. I also want to enjoy myself as much as I want you to enjoy yourself. So let's talk.
That is perfect. I think for me, that is perfect. I suppose the biggest thing I want to know is, I think it's always something that we don't get to see, that there's a certain part of people that they present themselves, right? Before we talk about your business and other things that you do, there's a side to people that we get to see. It's the same side that people choose to share on social media. It's a side that people, when you ask, "How are you doing?" and they're like, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm good." That's the side that people want you to see. And there's also sides that we don't get to see that people keep to themselves, and I suppose for a very good reason. But I'm curious to know, not just today, but on average, what does your day look like? What do you wake up in the morning and do that you like, okay, if this doesn't happen, then my day is just really messed up. If this happens, then I know I'm off to a good day. Just want to see how busy you get and how exhausted you are. Essentially, I just want to know that as phenomenal as you are, you get as exhausted as I am at the end of the day.
I used to have a very structured day, and that means when something doesn't happen the way I planned or the way I hope it will, then it freaks me out. But now I think I'm becoming more flexible. I'm becoming more acceptant with the fact that at many times than most, I will fail. And so for me, I do have kind of routines that I have to follow, but then they're very, very flexible. And at the end of the day, if I can't do something, or if something else occupies the space and time for me to do that thing, I'd rather move on and find a way to do it tomorrow. So how my day starts during the week, from 8 to 5, I work for a telecommunication industry. And then later on, from 5 to 12, I work on my beadwork business, which is Nokwethembas Beads. And then on weekends, I pretty much do everything. Crazy stuff like TikTok.
Yes, we'll definitely talk about your TikTok skills. Just okay, you've touched on your business slightly. Can you just give us a background? What exactly is your business about? What do you do? And then we can take it from there.
So what I do is beadwork. I started, I would say, at the age of 6 but I was learning at the age of 6. When I turned 9, I was a pro. So I learned beadwork before I even went to school. I can just to put things in the map. I grew up in Gandla. That is where I grew up, and that is where I learned beadwork from a neighbor, because none of my family members does beads anyway. And so, due to the fact that I have osteogenesis imperfecta, which is a condition that makes my bones weaker, and that sort of made me unable to walk. I'm using a wheelchair currently, for those who do not know. And so it was harder for me to find a school that will actually cater for my disability, especially in Ganja. There are no schools there. And so what I would do, I would go to my neighbor's place, or they will just leave me at my neighbor's place when my younger sisters have to go to school. And so I picked up beadwork patterns from her, and then I started doing beads. But then I learned like how another child would learn. I used to still have beads. Simple as that. I used to still have beads. And so when she found out that I was actually doing amazing patterns, somehow better than hers, she then gave me a portion for me to do, and then she will pay me weekly. She will pay me based on what I do when she sold her beads. And it was a nice experience for me as a child, knowing that I can actually do something with my hands and occupy myself. And so, due to the fact that I was supposed to be at school and I was hyperactive, just like any other kid at my age, I fully enjoyed beadwork. I fully invested myself in it in such a way that I couldn't do any other things other than beads, And then I learned a lot of things. I learned to draw during that phase of my life, and then later on, obviously, I found a school here in Durban, and then I relocated to Durban, and then later on, I went to the University of KwaZulu-Natal. But everything started with beadwork. That I think that is how God structured my life. I need to learn something that I'm going to use for the rest of my life before learning something that the world said I should learn. Yeah, so in the God's beats came about that. I realized later that I'm still passionate about beats with my degree, and I can't get employed with it, and so I might as well fall back to my passion.
That's amazing. That's incredible. And I think the biggest thing, as much as it's this funny story now that you stole beats, but somehow you managed to make a career out of your petty thiefness. So that's fine. I think what's
Yes.
amazing about that story is, especially because we grew up in a culture where we are always conditioned to school books, get work, and whatever. So we had to ever get parents or communities that entertain skills, specific skills, right? So I
Yes.
think for me, although it's worth throwing out a disclaimer there that stealing does not pay, depending on the type of parent you have. But I think
Oh my
that
goodness.
is incredible. Sorry, I just picked up something. So earlier when we were talking about how your day goes and how sometimes if something doesn't happen in the beginning, obviously now you said that it's become a lot more flexible. You are, more flexible with your time. One thing
Yes.
I've learned as well, having been or having tried my hand at businesses a couple of times, is the anxiety that comes with when something doesn't go right and how it affects everything around you, in terms of if my business isn't doing well, my personal life suffers. If my personal life isn't doing that great, then my business gets to also, kind of get some of that negativity. Do you think there is one? I know people who are looking for work are a lot more stressed when they can't find work. And somehow we always look at them and say, maybe start your own business. Do you think that's a move that people should be looking at? If I were to say right now, work or business, knowing what you're working, you have your own business. If I said somebody you have to choose between work or business, which direction would you advise them to go?
You are asking a wrong person if you're going to put just two options for me. I don't work like that. I would say somebody should explore absolutely everything, everything. When I was a child, I used to sing very, very well. Don't Don't ask me to do it now. I used to sing very, very well, but then I used to draw very well as well. I used to do amazing beats as well. I don't think I was shy, but I just was so reserved with my own emotions and stuff. I wasn't somebody who is as outspoken as I am right now. I was somebody who just preferred to mind her own business, because I would say that it came from being in an environment whereby I was misunderstood and I was mistreated based on how I look, not based on what I can offer to the world. And so I used to be so reserved with myself. And now that I'm here, many people see many things that I can actually do. Some says you should be a comedian. Some says you should be a dancer. I'm a horrible dancer. I know that. It's not because I'm in a wheelchair. I'm a horrible dancer. But then people have learned to actually love me based on putting myself out there in everything. And so for somebody who needs to choose, I would say explore everything. Explore everything, especially if you are still young. For other people as well, they need to still explore everything and find something that makes them happy. But for me, if you are still young and you think that going to work is the only option that you can take, or starting your own business is the only thing that you are limiting yourself, because in all dynamics, there's a lot that you can learn. And so for me, I do absolutely everything. If you were to say right now there's an opportunity for somebody who has never done science to participate in and actually learn, and they are going to get paid, trust me, I'll be there first thing in the morning.
Yes. The answer is yes every time. I'm absolutely with you. I'm exactly the same. I fully understand where you're coming from, and I think you're absolutely correct. With all the opportunities in the world, you can always learn something new. You can always explore. You can always try something different. And I honestly, I still don't understand the attitude of, oh, but I don't know how to do that, especially when you can learn. You know, that's why I don't understand when you say you can't sing. So we're gonna put it to the test just to see uh, where we are with this.
Okay.
Uh, if it's gonna be a no from me or a yes, we're just gonna find out. But that's gonna be at the end of the interview. That's fine. You can prepare a song for now, and then
You know what?
we'll
You know what's funny? Even if you say it's a no, that's another thing I'm starting to enjoy doing. Even if somebody gives me a no, I give myself a yes.
yes, yes for
So if you
effort.
say no, I'll give myself a yes, but I won't try singing right now. I
But that's the
humbly,
beauty.
I,
That's the
I-
beauty
I'm
of doing
humbly,
things for you.
hmm?
That's right. Wouldn't you say that's the beauty of doing things for you, though? The fact that you're able to, doesn't matter how everybody else responds, you recognize the strength in what you're doing. You recognizing the beauty of what you're doing, and it's impossible for anyone else to affect how you see yourself about anything when it gets to dancing. I'm a terrible dancer, but when I'm amongst people who are dancing, if you're busy spending your time watching how terrible I am at dancing, you're not having fun, and that's your problem. So for me, I will do my kwasa kwasa and talata in peace, and that is how I enjoy my.
Twalata. Amen. Twalata.
It's how I was raised. Okay, I was raised on Dolata and Kwasa Kwasa. If other people were raised on different
God
dances,
bless
that's
your
okay.
soul.
That is fine. Um, so you know what? As you're talking now, and I
Yes.
think this is something that a lot of us face, which is the crippling of rejection. We hear no, we don't hear it's just not the time for you now. We don't hear maybe try something better or try something else. We
Or
hear
try again.
or
Or
try
try again.
again, right?
Mm.
Or try with with someone else. Because for instance, if you're pitching a business to somebody, if you're trying to work for a company and they say no, maybe it's just not fit with that particular person and business, you can
Mm.
look at another option. You can look at another opportunity. But I think for us, there's this culture of if somebody says no, you take that no and you just can't, that's all you see. You don't see anything else beyond that. And I think when I was asking you that question of what are the options available to everybody, that's what I was getting at, is that I see a lot of people stressing. I see a lot of people, struggling with anxiety and depression because they can't find work. And you realize that there's other opportunities that they're blind to because that's what they say. And I think what you're saying, there's so much power in what you're saying, that try everything, do everything, get a no, but say it in something else.
Mm.
So I
Yeah,
really appreciate that.
for me, I don't wanna lie. And I'm not saying this just to stay your emotions or get, oh, shame. I don't want that. But I've received so many no's in life. So many no's, even from the people I'm closest to. And so if I would continue living with those no's and still God wakes me up in the morning, I'll be a miserable person. I would have
Mm.
been a miserable person because now I've got so many no's, but I'm not dying as well. So for me, I can't take any more no's. If it's a
Mm.
no this side, I will try back door. But eventually you'll find me inside. That's guaranteed.
That's I you know what, you're preaching to the choir. Hopefully everybody who's listening is with this, and I absolutely agree with you. I just wanted to check. So there's a few people who agree with me that you should sing at the end of the interview on our comment section.
Don't
Pelisa
worry,
Daniel
the
says
network will just go off.
we'll run out of space, people, before she starts singing, so we won't be able to do that. Pelisa Daniel from Cape Town says, I am inspired. And I truly agree. I agree with that. I think just again, this has been a very short conversation. So I can say I absolutely know there's a lot of stuff about your life that we don't know yet, and about your business and just how you, but just knowing your outlook on life and how you deal with things already, that to me, that is very inspiring. It's even more
Thank
so for me because I've done research, I've looked into your business, I've looked into your life, so I know exactly the type of person you are. And Cherish says, you're so funny, horrible dancer. I don't know if he's talking to you or talking to me, but I didn't say I was a horrible dancer. I just said I dance a different type of dance in this day and age. That's not the same thing, sir. Kwanda says, you're so full of life, Nokwethemba, and I absolutely agree. And I appreciate
you
that.
so much.
I think often what I mentioned earlier when we started talking, that I sent questions, you were like, no, let's do something else. Let's not, what I had missed, what I'm realizing now is the power of just having a conversation with somebody who has a different outlook to you when it comes to life, and just how much that could change your day, how that can improve how you think about things, and how, you look at life as a whole.
If you still want us to go back to your questions, we can put it in a maybe 15-second speed. I don't know. We can try.
We can do speed questions. I am up for that. Absolutely up for that. So let's see. First question. I think, if I remember correctly, because you said I must forget these questions, so now I probably have. Um, but I think, okay. So I wanted to talk to. I think this is the biggest thing for me. Question number one. Let's put a clock. If anybody has timer who's watching, just have a timer on your side. Um, Question
Wow.
one: the biggest challenge you think you've overcome in business?
In business was to actually accept that the fact that beadwork won't be something that everybody respects and think I can grow bigger. Overcoming the fear of failing was my win, because now I can say that this is what I choose to do. This is what I love. This is what I am willing to die doing, even if nobody pays me. And so getting to that point and respecting my work, I've been able to work with really, really amazing clients.
Mm, mm. Okay. Question number two: if you were to start over everything, especially when it comes to choosing where you work and even your business, and you had the same success and the same outcome that you have now, would you, what would you do different, or do you do exactly everything exactly the same?
I would definitely I don't know. I don't think I would go to university. I don't think I would go and look for jobs as a means of survival. I would definitely put myself in an art space because that is where I belong. That is where I'm most alive at, and I'll be very, very flexible with my life. I won't do things just to survive, but I'll do things just to be alive because that's what keeps me alive. So I'll be in fine art, I'll be doing fashion design, I'll be doing beadwork, even interior designing, everything that has to do with my hands and my eyes, I'll do that.
Okay. Uh, and then second last question, because we say we're going to keep this nice and short. Do you think, this is a serious one, do you think there's enough support in the country for Black small businesses to thrive? Do you think there's enough based on your experience?
Based on my experience, there isn't enough attention given to those people. You struggle a lot just to be heard about the idea that you have, and then once you are heard, they like, okay, find it yourself. If I was to be in charge, I would actually fund any idea, no matter how stupid it sounds to me, because we need stupid ideas. We need somebody who's gonna say, we can do it this way, and fully support that person. But I don't think sorry.
That's all right.
Hello?
You're back.
Yes.
I can hear you again. Yes. You were still saying you got cut off as you're saying we need people who are fully going to support ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also for people in bigger platforms to support small businesses and actually run with their ideas, but not steal the ideas, but actually try to see how they can assist. Because if one person teaches another, you have taught more than enough people that you would ever think you have taught.
This is true. I agree with that. And then my last question. My last question was initially going to be, how did you get started? But we already know that what happened there. We're not gonna bring it up again. It would be irresponsible broadcasting. So I suppose the next question is, uh, do your big plans that you have now, do they scare you or do they excite you?
My big plans scare me because I'm thinking of they actually scare me so much. They too big.
And as they say,
Sorry.
that's exactly how your goals should be, right? If they don't scare you, they aren't big enough, is the saying, I believe.
Yes, yes, yes. The only thing that I would accept right now that okay, I probably won't be able to do this thing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about this. The only thing that I would say I won't do is to actually learn to walk, but the rest of other
Everything
things,
else,
everything else, I will do it. I will
I
do it.
okay, I am with you. And I think that on that note, it is perfect. That's a perfect, I think, way for us to wrap it up. It was a nice and short conversation. I would give anything to continue this conversation and get to know you even more. Um, I know convincing you to sing is probably going to be another 30 minutes. That is fine. What we're going to do is we're going to record Nokwethemba singing, and then we're going to post it on the page. It is now out there. We are not asking. We'll put in the request. If you would like to hear her sing, uh, like this and comment on this video, and then we'll take it from there. If the people speak, if the people demand it, there's nothing we can do at Select except we have to deliver. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure having this
Thank
conversation
you
with
so
you.
much,
I
Themba.
look forward
It
to
was nice.
catching up. Thank you very much. We are definitely going to catch up. I wanna, in a couple of months down the line, I wanna talk to you and catch up on your big dream, on your big goals, and see if you're still scared or what they look like then. Thank you so much for giving us the time.
I'll be scared with something else by then. I won't be scared with what scares me right now, because I'm gonna execute it. Dark blue.
Okay.
So
So we
by then we're gonna be talking about something
completely
extraordinary.
different.
Mm.
That's exactly what we're looking
I'll
for.
keep you
Most
posted.
definitely. Thank you
You are
so
my
much.
friend now.
No, we are. We absolutely are. We're gonna do karaoke together. We're gonna do all these fun things. Um, I'll teach you Tolata because clearly the way you reacted, you don't know how to do it anymore. That is the only reason you react the way you did. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic Friday evening and an amazing weekend. We'll talk to you
Thank
again very soon.
you. Thank you so
Um,
much.
what we're gonna do is we'll make sure that we post Nokwethemba's business on our page, some of the products that she has into Vugazi Beads, and make sure that you know where to find them and what you can do. And please, please, people, just buy proper gifts for your people and for your family. Enough of socks and scarves, and let's just buy into Vugazi Beads and let's get this done right. Thank you so much. We will chat to you very soon, Nokwethemba. And thank you to everybody who
Thank
watched from
you.
Select SA TV. Guys, stay tuned for the next conversation that we have coming up and enjoy the rest of your Friday. This has been absolutely beautiful to be involved. Thank you and goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.